Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about having a Scorpio Mercury in your natal chart. And first off, what I want to get at is some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the Mercury signs in the natal chart, and they were a little bit concise, and some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which they would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So first up, well, communications, of course, is connected with Mercury, and having a Scorpio Mercury, a person may communicate in a manner that's very incisive and just getting to the heart of things, very probing, um, obsessive. The person, maybe if they're trying to get a hold of somebody, for example, and they're not able to do it, they may be sometimes become obsessed with trying to, um, you know, get that person, reach that person, touch base with him or her, what have you. Communications, also relentless, which is really like obsessive, but can be very secretive in what they're, talk about. They may not really want to reveal, or divulge too much of their, conversations to others. Um, Many people can be like that, regardless of astrological placements, but it may be more emphasized with Scorpio Mercury people than most others now. Um, Also, too, in speech, the person can be sardonic and caustic, but empowering. This person may be somebody, people that have Mercury and Scorpio may actually have an ability to be like a motivational speaker because they can empower others with their speech and persuade them and be able to, for example, help them, attain greater heights. If there's somebody that's down and out, remember and encourage them to, reach, a better place in their life. And also, to the person with Mercury and Scorpio may often, may enjoy talking about the occult, which includes astrology, the supernatural, mysteries, forensics, and even, things that, crime, corruption, and also things that are, nuclear. Is Those are some examples, but the person may need to guard, a person that has Mercury and Scorpio, guard against becoming overly manipulative in their, communications as well. It's good to manipulate in a positive way, as far as somebody, getting them to attain greater heights in their life as an example, but not, of course, in a devious manner. Um, anyway, next thing up, well, Mercury is also connected with thinking and assimilating information. So having a Scorpio Mercury, a person, again, may be, obsessive, within their thinking process. And, they're trying to get to the bottom of something because, Scorpio Mercury people can be, enamored with, investigation. They could have a good mind for that. And they may be obsessed with just getting to the bottom of something. And also, the person may be interested in complex subjects and trying to figure out, things of a complex nature. And the thinking can be very deep and also inclined toward investigation. Uh, the person, too, may often be suspicious and skeptical of their thinking and be, of others when they first meet them. They may be rather skeptical of the person's character. It could be the kind of person that wants to go online and conduct a criminal background check on the person, but also, unfortunately, may often see the dark side of things when they're thinking about things. And, the Scorpio Mercury people need to guard against becoming, overly negative or pessimistic as a result of this. And there also can be about guile, and you think of ideas in which they could utilize guile to get, to what they need with the information they need or to get the results they want sometimes. So anyway, Mercury is also associated with siblings, cousins, and neighbors. So one or more of these people may actually be a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It can be people that are very resourceful, probing, insightful, even obsessive, secretive, empowering, and mysterious, or it could be in a Scorpio, profession, such as working in embalming or insurance, some tax examination, forensics, investigation, as some examples. Now, Mercury is also associated with our early education. So, in the early education, on the negative side, there may, in some cases, there may have been, maybe this person had been, maybe had been bullied or coerced even in some manner, because Scorpio is the sign connected with that. Pluto is ruled by Pluto. Scorpio ruled by Pluto is connected with coercion and bullying. But this could be very remote, but also be very secretive in terms of, what they did in their early education. And also, it can be transforming, may have been, empowering to others, their classmates, and inspire them, to make a major change. But also too, this could be somebody, in their early education, that maybe in high school, if they had these courses available, to some Scorpio related courses, such as something in psychology or tax examination, insurance, billing and coding, as some examples. And the person may have embarked on their, college education, their studies, done them with a lot of passion, desire, and emotional intensity. Mercury is also associated with short journeys, so this person may, be enamored with taking trips to, like, spooky places, like those haunted houses, and be also close-mouthed about, where they go, their short trips, and they may be, it could be to occult venues, which can include astrology. Um, they may like to take their journeys more so at night, in the darkness, more so than most people. May often be taking short trips for matters pertaining to support, whether it's emotional, moral, or monetary support, and maybe even to investigate things, as well. So, anyway, well, Mercury is also connected with the rational mind. And things that might affect, the rational thinking of Mercury and Scorpio person, sometimes could be jealousy. It could simply be obsessing over a matter that he or she doesn't need to. It could be, they maybe matters of manipulation. The person, his or herself, may be manipulated, or issues of power and control, or dealing with some kind of crisis or upheaval in his or her life. Those are things that might, negatively, impact, the rational mind of the person that has this Mercury and Scorpio placement. Another thing is that Mercury is also associated with analysis. So a person with Mercury and Scorpio may often analyze things very deeply, psychoanalyze people at times, look for, hidden motives, hidden agendas of others, may look for subtle things like body language to, in order just to see, if he or she is telling the truth, understanding fact from fallacy. It could be also analyzing matters pertaining to death. Um, it could be, things that are, occult related, which can include astrology. The person may have a very good mind, for the occult, again, which includes astrology. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's the late astrologer Gina Avery. I think her Mercury was in Scorpio, but you may want to confer that and look that up on the internet. And she obviously had a very, profound knowledge of astrology. It could also be about analyzing things that are connected with, forensics, and even sexual related matters. Mercury in astrology is also associated with the hands and manual dexterity. So, a person that has Mercury in Scorpio, they may have an ability, affinity with the hands to do things like locksmithing, or just general things that require mechanical skill in general. This could be somebody that is very proficient like in surgery. And just this is, again, this is a very, good placement for that, for just, surgery, just in general. And anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.